All right. Good evening. Good morning. Hello. Thanks for coming in and watching the replay. For those that are coming in tonight, we're going to do part two of a video: how to start different business in the Black community, African American, whichever word you want to use. But I did one last night, which was Tuesday night, and I did four of them. So now we're going to go ahead tonight. We're going to do four again tonight. And these are all businesses that I want you to be conscious of and to help you generate and create wealth. And to let you know who I am, I'm Sandy. I'm a biz strategist and I help you to grow, market, and brand, strategize your business and reach to the next level and generate and leave legacies. So these are businesses that is needed in our communities because studies have shown, statistics states that we are spending more money, but we're not owning enough businesses. And I think that because these businesses that I mentioned, there are 20 of them, so we'll try to get through all of them this week. And I do believe that because you are the ones that are the consumer of these businesses, for the most part, I feel like you should have a stake in them. And that's why we're going over this series. And if anybody need my help with any of these as we go further, we're just going over some of the basic things, but I definitely will be able to help you to start these businesses in your communities. Okay, so let's get right into the night. The first one we're going to talk about is mechanic shop. And I think, and when I gave you the whole list, I explained to you why I feel like you need a mechanic shop in your neighborhood, in your communities. We need somebody reliable because a lot of times we purchase vehicles that are, they're pretty much they're upscale vehicles, they're luxury vehicles, but at the same time we have more mechanical issues with them. And then there's nothing wrong with getting what you want, and there's nothing wrong with getting something nice. And I just do believe that a lot of mechanics sometimes can't be honest with you, and you need some people that will do best business practices and treat you right in business and those sort of, and those all sorts of things. So that's why I feel like a mechanic shop is needed in your community, and I want to give you a few things to kind of help you and let you know what you need in your community. How to get started and how, if somebody in your community want to do it. Okay. Now, first of all, you're probably going to have to get some kind of certification, I'm sure, to open up the mechanic shop. There's going to be some certificates of some sort, and then also you want to find out like what kind of specialty this person gonna do. Whether they're gonna be. They can be. It probably would be advantageous to have, collision repair. Maybe a paint and body shop even in your communities for that is concerned. And then, they're all kind of. If you think about it, let's say if you have a collision repair in your, a collision repair business set up in your community, that would be a great thing because there are accidents, and then if cars are totaled, then parts can, come from that. And, there's just there's a lot of good perks. Everybody else have them, so why can't you have a business like that too as well? You like, um, transit bus, school bus. In one of my businesses that I did mention as educational facility. So see, you're going to need somebody to work on heavy duty trucks. I don't know whether, maybe somebody's going to own a fleet of trucks or something like that, but you need those kinds. But you can decide, or a person can decide on what kind of business they will have in the community. So that won't be an issue. But and then knowing your business, your expenses for starting and having one, and then making sure your location, making sure you know where you're going to put your business. Your location is very important too as well. And I'm looking at two because I got Instagram over here, you guys, and I got you on the other screen. So that's why I'm looking from one to the other, in case you're wondering. Now let's talk about marketing. Before we go there, you got to get permits. You got to get certain permits for your business and making sure that you're following guidelines, getting all your legalities, like your EIN number, your DUNS number and your LLC or whatever, however you're going to incorporate your business. Make sure you got all of that squared away, making sure that you have good marketing, a marketing strategy. Make sure that's when you got to come see me and someone like me, in accounting advice or accounting consultant, making sure you're doing those books right so where you can stay in business and the IRS won't shut you down because you didn't do right by your taxes. Okay. So those are some things that, you have to just consider. I'm just giving you guys a little rough list to see what to kind of see, what, maybe you hadn't thought about some of these things, but I just do believe that businesses in your communities need to be owned by you. You tend to hire people that look like you. Just look around. It's proven fact. You don't have to believe me. Just look around. Okay? Most people hire people that look like them. And because the unemployment rate is high in the African American community, go and look at the Department of Labor's website and you'll see. And also there are the wealth disparities in our communities is non-existent sometimes, but don't take it from me. Go and look for yourself, go research. So this is why I am giving you this conscious information to help you to get to the next level and to leave generational wealth. You can work on a job, but you have to consider having multiple streams of income, building wealth for your children, building wealth for your family, and living life happily ever after. Okay? All right. Now, the next thing we're going to talk about is auto parts store. Why auto parts store? It comes in with the same thing as repair, pretty much, right? So you're going to need an auto parts store definitely in your communities because you want to be able to get, because see, these are items what I'm speaking of, and the reason why I'm mentioning auto parts store too in cars and things like that, because we're going to talk about car dealership next. But these are things that you guys value. These are things that have been shown that we spend a lot of money on. I know you need to kind of like don't spend money on a decreasing asset, but at the same time, yeah, we all need transportation and we all need vehicles. So there's nothing wrong with having that. And you know what? Auto parts industry to sell, it reached 12 billion in 2019. It reached 12 billion people. So $12 billion went into audio repair right into 2019. I'm not even sure what it is now, but I know in 2019 from the research that I did, it was $12 billion. This is in the US. So what that tells me is you got a problem. Houston, you have a problem. So, what you need to do in that, whoever's going to do this, pick your business model, making sure that what is going to be, what kind of cars you're going to work on. Okay. And also, I think in by 2022 it's supposed to reach 19 billion. Okay. So that's what's in my notes. So do your research your competitors, make sure you know what's going on with your competitors so you can see what's needed. That save you from doing extensive research and you don't know what you're talking about. Your competitors is going to give you the answers. Your competitors is going to be the solution for you finding out what kind of business model you're going to use. And the next thing I'm going to always tell you, create a business plan. Got to create a business plan because guess what? If you don't have a roadmap, you won't know where you're going and you won't know how to get there. You won't even have a clue to who you're going to be serving. So get your business plan together. Your business plan is going to give you the financials. It's going to give you the marketing strategy. It's going to give you the time frame. It's going to give you, the area location. It's going to help you out a whole lot in determining how you are to approach this particular business. You don't have to know how to, fix on cars and anything like that, but you can hire somebody that knows about it. So, and then you can be all over. This is what I'm saying. Communities need this. All right. I know there are some out there, but guess what? They ain't owned by you. So How you like that? Okay. Okay. All right. Making your business legal is very important. Just like all of the businesses, all of them I'm going over tonight. You are going to have to make them legal, meaning getting the proper registration in your state of what is required to own a business, start a business, and grow a business. And then you set yourself up to be able to get extra funding. See, let me tell you this, a lot of businesses are not being successful because they don't have their business structured, and then they don't set themselves up to be able to borrow money later on or get business credit, because there are requirements that you have to go by when you are getting other people's money. You have to have legalities, the legal structure, the legalities in place. And I think when you don't do this, well, I know when you don't do this, then you're setting yourself short for getting a vast of an opportunity. You know, let's say for instance, let me say this to you. The two businesses that I just mentioned, do you realize mechanic shops, auto parts store? Do you realize that you can get a contract, a government contract, and don't the government have vehicles? Don't they have they need parts for their vehicles. They may need mechanic shops to fix their vehicles. If your business is structured right, and then if you need to borrow money, you won't have a problem with getting the funding, even to get a government contract with this. So don't just think so small and just thinking, oh, she's talking about putting a business in the African American community, an auto shop. Don't just only think on the people that your community that you're going to serve. Just think of all the other business that you can get with a business like this. People are doing this, guys. I'm serious. Some places, there's a place here in our city where there's a mattress place, right? And you rarely see customers coming through the parking lot. You rarely see it, right? But I know the doors are being open. They may have a big contract with the hospitals in the local area, maybe getting mattresses for them. I don't know, but somebody is, even maybe hotels, anywhere. They may be doing business with other business like B2B. So just because you may not have all the traffic flowing through your business every day, that doesn't mean that you won't have business, other business that like doing B2B. You may have that, and you may have less people that's coming in just from a consumer standpoint, but still, and those contracts can probably help your business more than a person just walking in your door every day. So don't sleep on it, and don't let your mindset think that limited, that it couldn't be a little different. Like, now the third one I'm going to go over with you, even, oh, and also, about hiring staff, marketing your auto parts business. So we talked about that too. But the next one is the car dealership. Selling, how to open up, how to start a car dealership. For instance, see, that's another thing too. With a car dealership, there are vehicles that's needed for the county, like all kind of vehicles that are needed. You got some, I know, during the Masters here, and here in Augusta during the Masters, there used to be a car dealership that every year they had the Masters, that they were the one that would contract all of the cars that was needed, because I had my vehicles from there. And I used to talk to one of the salesmen and one of the mechanics mechanics rep that would work there. And I think they end up losing the contract, but they had that contract, y'all, for so many years. And that probably gave them, from my understanding, it was a contract out of this world. You wouldn't believe the millions of dollars just one time a year. And it was for the master tournament. But it brought them a lot of revenue. It brought a lot of money in. And I'm sure that, because they would bring in cars from all over, they would have to order a special fleet of cars. So, like I said, I think they end up losing the contract. I want to say they had it at least 15 or 20 years. I mean, I could be wrong on that number, but I believe it was a long time, long time. So, this is what I'm saying. When you're thinking about businesses like these, just don't think about, oh, it wouldn't work. Oh, this, I'm limited to, oh, I can't get don't even, don't think that way. Just think that you can have contracts with government agencies. You just have to set it up, do the proposal, making sure you got your business structure, because you won't be able to have these opportunities unless you do these kind of things and prepare yourself and get ready for the opportunities. You have to be ready for the opportunities. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and going on through this and understanding that, and then with the car dealership industry, you got to understand the industry. Hire somebody that knows the industry. Get some kind of consulting about this industry if you don't know much about it. Learn about the buying. Just you have to, in any business, you have to learn about marketing. You have to learn about the competition. You have to learn about the numbers of the business, and the sales growth, and what's, when sales are low, the seasonal stuff, all of that stuff, that's a part of you in business. That's what needs to happen. Like I said, in any business, the demographics, the psychographics, know about that. Niche marketing, what kind of niche was you going to have? Luxury cars, whether you're going to have, brick and mortar stores, car dealership. I think Carvana is, it's doing well too. And I think it's probably some more like Carvana. But I know I was listening at someone talking. It was a business meeting I was in, and they were talking about that Carvana may give the car dealerships a run for their money because of their business model. So what I'm saying to you is, make sure that you're very knowledgeable. Don't be like the next blockbuster in any business that you do, even if you don't want to do one of these, or if you don't know anybody that will be doing one of these. Just don't take, just be innovative, and definitely be open to different things and different possibilities. Now, and like I said, find out the level of competition in the industry, not only in the car industry, but any industry. Know your main competitors in the industries. Okay? Know who they are, write them down, and know a little bit about them, and know a little bit about what they have done, their publications, especially if they're corporate. You can look on the websites of many corporation websites and just find out the information that you need about the company. You ain't got to YouTube everything. You ain't got to Google everything, but you can read up on some things, and then that'll give you a better understanding of what route to take and what route not to take, or what should you do about this particular this particular idea that you may have started. Okay. And then knowing about, just doing it, like I said, just doing your research, knowing about the industry, doing a feasibility study, knowing about the economics. Any business, any business, any business, you need to know much about the economics of it. Economics make the world go round. Don't care what you say. Economics make the world go round and round and round. Okay, so and then too, know what if these in particular cars that you're researching, being your competitors that is being on the stock market, know what's going on with them, know how they move. Like I said, you may want to be an upscale car dealership. You may want to sell luxury cars that everybody want. So there's, it's endless on the possibilities and making sure that you incorporate correctly, making sure that and with this industry, you got to be heavily insured, and making sure that you're getting the best insurance deal possible. You got to know about that. You got to know a whole lot about that. Um, and also, you're going to, I mean, it's just, I think that our different, okay, there's few insurances that I think that I'm going to give you that I feel like you got to have general insurance. You got to have liability insurance, workers' compensation insurance, risk insurance, credit insurance, deposit insurance. You're going to have a lot of insurances, and some of those are kind of packaged, maybe packaged together as a bundle. And I'm not sure. Just haven't really got really that deep into that. And also protecting any kind of intellectual property with this kind of business, whether it be through trademarks, copywriting, you know, um, and patents or whatever it is. So, that's another thing that you must think about when you're selling, especially if it's something intellectual. You may know somebody that might manufacture a car. They want you to sell a car. You just make sure you got your legalities legality sealed in deals like that. So, um, and a lot of the necessary documents, of course, with any business, for the most part, you're going to need your permit, your taxpayer's ID, your certificate of incorporation, a fire certificate if it's a brick and mortar, facility permit, licensing, and things like that. If you're going to be into a franchise, or you're going to start one, you're going to trans franchise it later, you're going to have to do that, and you're going to have to do some more. You're going to have some more documents, along with definitely writing a business plan. That's why a business plan is so important. Um, You need to also prepare a detailed cost analysis of what it's going to cost your business, what it's going to cost you legally, what it's going to cost you marketing, what it's going to cost you, um, all things that's going to be required for you. Your checklist that is required for you to open up those doors. You have to know what everything is going to cost you. Now, there's no way you can tell me that you can open up a business at this level without a thorough plan. Nope, ain't gonna work, because you don't know what you need. You don't even know which way to go. You don't even know which way you have to go. So, all right, now I'm going to get into the next one in the medical office. I want to get into that one because everybody knows your health is your wealth. Okay, your health is your wealth. And in your community, especially African American communities, we are behind the eight ball when it comes down to our health. We have more sickness and more ailments than anybody in the world. And by that being said, instead of us focusing on sending our children to be in the NFL and the NBA and those kind of things, why don't we try to produce more physicians, doctors in our families? Health care specialists to build. There used to be plenty doctors in our communities and neighborhoods, but that is a decline. Studies have shown. Don't believe me? Go look it up and see that African American physicians are not as plentiful as it used to be. So, that being said, you're not gonna get you won't get the probably the quality medical attention that you should get, and then you won't get, studies won't be in your favor, and all kind of things. You're being sampled for testing and all these kind of things at times. And I believe that this right here, the medical office, or maybe, not necessarily saying a hospital, but we need to be aware. We need to have somebody that can advocate be an advocate on your part that look like you. Okay. And the healthcare industry is projected, by 2025 to be a $5.5 billion industry. Okay. And, a lot of our ailments are, caused by us not taking care of ourselves. So I think that if we have facilities like this, and then also to kind of like help us and educate us a little bit more on how we should and shouldn't be eating, and what's best for us and what's really not so good for us, I think we can do a little bit better. So you have some nurses, and I'm sure that some of you, I have a few friends that are in the medical field and are nurses, and excellent nurses, are very, very good. So, and I really do believe that if you can do 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 help do our health a big favor by kind of educating us more on it. I think we can live longer. We can be healthier longer. Not having all these ailments, and then we either have to get a limb cut off, or and we have to, our quality of life is just depleting and declining, and it's because we didn't take care of ourselves when we should have. So I just feel like that these are some of the things that just needed in your community, in our community. They are needed in our community. So here again, I'm going to just constantly say it. They're needed in our community. So with that being said, all of the other stuff that I went over to, I told you, like I said, the legalities, all of that in any business, make sure you have your legalities down, and make sure that all of your regulations, and especially the medical field, is a very heavy regulated. And it should be, because this is something that can, you're depending on somebody's life. And this is something that you need for taking care of somebody, if not, not your own life. And then, having this facility is going to require a whole lot. It's going to require electronically healthcare system. It's going to require purchasing equipment and staff, having the right people working, making sure that they meet their credentials. They can do, they can meet the excellence of their credentials too, as well, and making sure that everything that they say they can do, they can do. So it's a lot of I know it's a lot of things. It's half of it we just didn't even talk about, but I just want to give you some of the basic stuff, and let's not forget funding. Medicare, Medicaid is sometimes can be an issue for certain companies, and that's why they don't last. They go out of business, or they have to merge with other companies and things like that. So we definitely want to be mindful of just how to make your communities better, just how to focus on things that will help you get to the next level. I always say that. So, but that's it. That's what I want to talk about tonight. I was going to do home improvement stores, but I'll do that tomorrow, and a couple more that I'm gonna do with that one too. But I hope this helped, and I hope it's something that we talked about in this will see that your community, it needs some help. Righty? Okay. Well, thanks for being here, and if you weren't here live, thanks for listening to the replay, and I'll talk to you soon. Okay. Bye bye.